Hello friends, it's me, and today let's watch from the style theorists, can your pants save your life? Style theory. Yes! Okay, jokes aside, let's watch the video.
Can your pants save your life?
Yes! Sorry.
Hello Internet, welcome to Style Theory, where once again we are
Hello.
stripping for science.
Yeah, actually, if I could just,
I was doing my intro, Dan.
No, it's fine, it's just...
Is the shot wrong?
No, yeah, we just wanted to get you a little better in the shot.
Okay,
Right there.
this is
Yeah,
good. Am I in frame? Cold!
Hello Internet, welcome to Style Theory. Style Theory.
So you just got thrown overboard by some unexpected weather. What should you do next? Well, it turns out that your pants can actually save your life. In fact, the military has been doing that for decades.
Yes, sailors strip off their pants so that they can turn them into a life-saving device. It's
Oh, fun fact, I learned that when I was like 7 years old. 6 years old? 7 years old? I hate that lesson because, as a 6 years old, 7 years old kid, I was, fidgety, naughty, playful, foolish. Yeah. But I did complete the lessons. Yeah. Granted a lot of scolding.
part of a general survival training,
I completed the lesson. It took me like a few months. Yeah.
both in and out of the military, and it's still used today. But what about you, the everyday person just looking to have a good time out on the water in some regular jeans or leggings? Can you do what the pros do with any fabric so that you can save your life?
Well, we're about to find out because I have 8 pairs of pants and we're gonna go talk to Dry Amy while I warm up for just a second. Oh, it's an icy Arctic Ocean.
Think of me kind of like Jack from Titanic, floating next to Rose on her door. Only this time, I know that all I should need to do to survive is take off my pants. So let's take a look at what we're working with.
Welcome to our pants smorgasbord, where we have 8 pairs of pants that we will be testing in the pool right beside me. Now these range
For me, I was taught to bring along the pajamas.
from your classic options to a few wild cards.
In our classic category, we will be testing the authentic Navy uniform pants, just to see if they work for a civilian like me. A wool blend trouser, denim jeans, and some corduroys. In our wildcard rounds, we will be testing cargo pants, harem pants, leggings, and everyone's favorite, sweatpants. It's important to know that all of our options either have a wide, flared, or stretch leg so that they could fit over a pair of shoes. Please don't wear your skinny jeans or skinny leggings on boats, theorists. They aren't coming off easy. Our goal in this experiment is to cover the widest variety of fabric thicknesses and absorbency options that any random civilian passenger on a boat could be wearing if they fell overboard. Due to weather or weather.
She didn't fall off the balcony! She was pushed!
We know that the professionals can do it in their uniforms, but we want to prove that anyone can do it in any emergency situation, no matter what pant fabric they may be wearing, or what skill level they might have. Our weather boys, Dan and Casey, will be making waves and rain to give our experiment a more authentic approach to the real-life situation. For our pants to pass, I will need to be able to take them off, tie them, and float until our Coast Guard arrives to save me. If they pass, they'll
From the point of view of a regular individual.
be sorted into our living category. And if they don't, well, RIP me. Bring on the first pants.
These are your classic Navy pants. Now, these are actually authentic pants from the 50s.
It even has the original Navy issued patch inside.
So these should really be able to work because that's what they created them for.
They have the wide flare to fit over your shoes, an adjustable tie at the back of the waist for a precision fit and easy release, as well as the iconic Navy button fly, which, now that I think about it, has an alarming number of buttons to try to get off underwater.
Which is really gonna suck.
And they were heavy, thanks to
Being made of a very, very thick wool fabric.
wool has a hydrophobic or water repellent outer layer and a hydrophilic or water absorbent inner layer. This is meant to keep them feeling dry longer in wet weather, but a little rain is a lot different than being submerged in a pool.
Hopefully, these succeed.
We were finally ready for our first test, and by we, I meant me and our weather boys.
Would you like to come into frame?
I mean, like, how cold are we talking?
We're not in the Arctic.
Right foot. You're insane.
Insane or insanely brilliant? Who's to say?
Now I am asking that you guys don't actually try to drown me, but this face is I don't trust. We'll see how this goes. Oh my god!
Amy, get in the water. My legs are freezing.
It's cold! Man overboard!
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit jealous they got the water gun. Psh! As adults!
The first problem was getting the pants off. The buttons were as difficult as I expected, and not being able to see them made it so much harder.
The buttons are not great!
And do you know what is even worse? If it happens at night, you confirm GG. You confirm GG.
That wasn't even the biggest struggle. Once my legs were free, I had to find a way to tie off the legs, or just find them at all.
How do I thread them together?
The water was dark, and the pants were darker, making them look like just one giant blob.
I'm trying to figure out where to tie them.
I needed to find the ends of each pant leg to tie off. To make your device, you can either tie them together to put over your head as a life vest, or tie off each one to create a floaty. But theorists, my time was running out, and so was my energy.
Oh my god, I'm getting tired.
It's hard! These pants come apart. I don't know how to get them to my plate.
There are two methods of inflation, the toss and the splash. The toss requires you to lift the pants over your head and bring them back down to get air into them, something that felt impossible with how heavy our wool pants were. The second is to place your vest over your head and use your hands to push the air down into the open waistband. This was the
I was also taught one more method, the blow bubble upside down. Back then, our training was all the way until like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. So it was dark. We barely have. There was a slight moment in which it's 7 p.m. And when the floodlights opened. So that before the floodlights on, that slight moment in which it's getting dark and dark and dark and dark, in which I have to do this underneath the water. At 6, 7 years old, I think. Is it 8 years old? Yeah, around there. But it was, yeah. I got a lot of scolding. Sorry.
easier method for an untrained civilian of my strength level. However, even after succeeding in tying them off and getting them over my head, which was no easy feat, they wouldn't inflate.
Guys, I think I drowned.
I think you died.
I think we died with pants number 1.
So what made these pants fail so spectacularly and send me to Davy Jones' locker? Well, aside from the weight, the design also caused a serious problem. By unbuttoning those iconic buttons, it left the front of the pants in pieces. This made it impossible for me to keep them together long enough to hold air. I don't know, maybe the sailors didn't need to unbutton them to get them off, but I certainly did. Even with the back tie loose, my hips meant that the buttons had to go for them to come off. And it means that our vintage navy pants are going into our RIP category. Theorists, this has me extremely worried for our next pair of pants.
Alright, look, I'm gonna say practice makes perfect, but for the regular folks out there that do not have the time to practice for this unfortunate event, hey, let's say the last time you went swimming was like before COVID, was like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Maybe you were an active swimmer back then, but then life happens, your job happens, you have family, so on and so forth. You don't have time to practice swimming, you don't have time to practice these survival skills. And then suddenly, bam, it hits you like a truck. I'm glad that the style theorist is tackling this issue as a regular individual, as a normal common folks, as a humdrum individual. Thank you.
So our vintage wool pants failed, but what about a more modern take?
These are a wool blend and a lovely stretchy waist that
Stretchy.
hopefully makes it really easy to slide off so you can save yourself as fast as possible.
And you know, maybe doesn't leave me with an unbuttoned mess like the last pair. Seriously, do sailors not have hips? How do they do it? Nope, never mind. Back to our new pair of pants. These are slightly lighter than our last pair since they are a polyester and wool blend. But given how fast the last pair took on all that extra water weight, I'm not sure that's going to help it for long.
They also have a wide leg to get over your shoes. As of right now, I don't know if the first pair of wool pants worked. So fingers crossed I don't die. Ready, weather boys? I am so cold.
Oh no, Amy, be careful. Don't fall in.
Immediately,
careful.
I noticed some of the same problems as the first pair. While these were easier to slip off,
One leg off, two legs off. Hey, that happened really fast.
the darkness was still giving me a problem.
If only I can tell where the leg ends.
Amy, where are you going?
I'm concentrating!
I was able to tie the pants off and finally inflate one leg.
I saw flotation.
It was a little bit like an it balloon.
But Pennywise wasn't what I was afraid of here. I was afraid of just how much energy it had taken for me to just get one leg to inflate.
These pants are extremely heavy, and getting both legs inflated was pretty much impossible. But hey, something happened.
I was right, something did happen, but not what you're probably thinking. Turns out there was a reason why only one leg inflated.
It's so dark that I can't see what's actually going on with the pants, and one leg ended up inside out, which means basically that only one leg could inflate. That is a loss for us, but the idea worked.
That's another pair of pants for our RIP category. It's not looking great for our experiment. Not only was the weight
So, instead of choosing a navy blue or black pants, you're trying to say maybe a lighter version of it might work?
still an issue, the color was as well.
Oh, no wonder! Our children's pajamas is always pink and white. Maybe sometimes it's light blue and white. You know, the colorful flower. Confirm is white and blue or white and pink. Something like that. Oh, white and green! Yes!
Oh, I needed to take a break to reassess the situation. Should we just give up, call it quits? Was suffering through this cold water really worth it? Laying out there on the hot stone, just trying to keep the hypothermia at bay, I was really wishing for a boat right about now. Something large and comfortable, a place I could be warm and
Aunties!
safe. I could see it now. This
Oh! Kaizokuo! Okay, sorry. No. Kaizokuo ni ore wa naru!
is a Helix mattress, and it's going to be our boat and sponsor for today's episode.
Thank you.
Now you may be thinking, Amy, that is an extremely comfortable mattress on your floor, not a boat. To that I say, yes, it is insanely comfortable thanks to Helix matching me with my perfect mattress using their sleep quiz. And with a little imagination, I can take that comfort anywhere I dream up. See, I'm on a boat. Helix offers 20 premium mattress options, perfect for stomach sleeping pirates, side sleeping mermaids, or even back sleeping sailors. I got the luxe version of their dusk mattress because I tend to move a lot throughout the night, and the medium support is essential for me not waking up feeling like a pair of tangled headphones. Our boat is king size so that I can fit all of my crew on board for every adventure. And their 100-night sleep trial means that if you aren't quite sure you got the right one, you have 100 nights to test it out to make sure it's a perfect fit. Luckily, the crew loved their new ship. It even gave first mate Evie the zoomies. And I can feel safe letting them run around because Helix is fiberglass free. And with this 10-year warranty,
so
I don't have to
cute.
worry if someone forgets that boats are for sailing, not digging. Helix delivers straight to your door. And if you're docking in the US, shipping is free. So if you're looking to upgrade your sleeping situation or sail the high seas in your dreams, you can get started by going to helixsleep.com/thestyletheorist and using code thestyletheorist at checkout to get 20% off everything on their site.
Thanks so
Yes,
much.
everything on their site. That's helixsleep.com/thestyletheorist or scan the QR code on screen and get 20% off your new mattress and anything else you buy using our code thestyletheorist at checkout. Thanks again to Helix for making my dreams come true. But for now, it's time to go back to the cold, wet reality.
She's dead.
She's dead. She's alive!
I may not be dead, but my dreams of floating with a pair of pants are starting to seem so. But before I call this episode a wash, I wanted to give it
Wash.
one more chance to work. With an ordinary, everyday pair of pants that are so popular, you probably already have some in your closet.
Our third pair of pants are some denim jeans.
Denim is typically a cotton blend, meaning that the majority is made from cotton, a highly absorbent fabric. Cotton can hold up to 27 times its own weight in water. However, there is something that might save it. Denim uses a very tight weave called a twill weave that gives it that iconic tiny rib texture. Twill uses a parallel diagonal weave, making it extremely durable. And it's tight, meaning that there's less room for the water to get in and make me sink.
These are one of the most common types of pants to find people wearing, whether they're on a boat or anywhere else.
By the 1960s, both the Navy and mainstream fashion had gotten on board with denim. We actually made a short about it if you want to learn more. But for today, I just want to know if they can help me float. Humans are naturally buoyant creatures. We float pretty well on our own since our density is less than water. So when we fall in the ocean or a pool, the water naturally wants to force us back up to the surface, which is just a complicated way of saying that the pants don't have to work that hard to keep us alive. They just have to actually work. They are meant to help us not expend so much energy to keep our heads above water, so that we can survive long enough to get rescued. And speaking of rescue, we had to rescue our cameras from the heat of the sun.
Our cameras were overheating, but we will still give you the authentic experience.
Sorry.
We'll be keeping all of the same rules, and despite the slightly shallower water, I will not be getting any assistance from my feet. It's float or sink, theorists. Now let's dive back.
Yeah, so from my experience as a live streamer doing live stream with my phone, a cheap phone, okay, if you are live streaming under direct sunlight, your phone is gonna overheat. Device overheat appears so many times. But a lifesaver is if you are live streaming in under indirect sunlight, aka under shelter, or if there's actual wind blowing to circulate the heat flow to, you know, like a yeah, it helps. Yeah.
Fingers crossed, they don't go inside out again.
It's so cold! Nothing changed about the temperature of the pool.
The weather feels a lot closer now.
Yeah, I was still Jack in the freezing ocean, and the weather wasn't letting up.
Trying to get the pants off. Much more resistance. Okay, leave my face alone.
Rude! But I channeled all that rage into getting the pants tied and inflated. And theorists, it was working. The lighter denim color meant that I could see what I was working with. And in no time, I was floating.
Floating. Everything's fine. The Coast Guard will rescue me any minute now. I felt that, you know? The rain feels very targeted.
Yes, despite the freezing water and the horrible weather, we survived.
Coast Guard is here. You're rescued.
Yay! We actually
Yay!
won it.
Thank
Look
you.
at that. They're staying.
There's so much air!
Feel that. Look at that. Look at those pants. They're so inflated.
And we were alive. Denim had done it.
They were
She's
lighter, both
live.
in fabric and in color. I was able to get them over my head. I was able to inflate them with our kind of splashing method. I actually survived in a way that felt like it was a success.
Sure, they weren't perfect. Denim is super absorbent, and if you're lost at sea for a really extended period of time, they may get a little too heavy with water to stay floating quicker than other fabrics. However,
I wasn't taught with the leg above my neck. That one is because case in point, we were childrens. And childrens don't have long legs. And our neck doesn't really change much size in comparison to our legs. So when you grow older, when you grow up, your legs grow longer, you know, for most people. And because of that, we as kids, we learn the Y shape, the one. That means tie one leg, and ta-da, hold on to it. If you want to, you can also tie the bottom one as well lah. You can also tie the bottom one as well. So it's one leg, two leg, the hips, the one, the hips part. So you just hold on, to their life, and just a V shape, here, But what I see her doing is gap behind. Yeah. So short legs, children's, we were kids. I was a kid.
However, they are the first pair of pants to make it into our living category.
I'm gonna dry off for a second, and then we're gonna move on to our next pants. Ooh, it's so cold here. Our next pair of pants are some corduroys. I am a little concerned because if you look at the way that the corduroy fabric kind of has those rivets, those peaks and valleys, the in-between seems very thin.
And corduroy is made from, you guessed it, cotton. You know, that fabric we just learned was super absorbent.
And I'm a bit worried.
But theorists, I didn't need to be because I was on a roll. In no time, I had the pants off and was able to tie and inflate them within minutes of getting into the water.
Have you considered this is not your first rodeo? Practice makes perfect, and also you are the adult, you are focused, you are disciplined, you're committed, you have done your homework, in comparison to regular folks that is like, you either do or die. Literally die.
The only problem I was having? My extra pair of modesty shorts. Oh yeah, I wear like 2 pairs of shorts for shoots like these, for reasons, but they were getting in the way.
I think men in their boxer shorts are really gonna have a hard time saving their lives.
Even so, I was able to get into rescue position in record time. All I had to do now was survive the 60 seconds until the Coast Guard arrived to prove we could stay floating.
We'll be saved. The rain will leave us alone.
Not today, though. Sorry.
The rain has too much talk back.
Coast Guard is here to rescue you from the rain.
Yes!
That's one more pair of pants
Artificial rain. Psst. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit jealous about the water gun. Sorry. As an adult, they can play with it. And it's their job. I'm a bit jealous.
going into our living category. Up next is our wildcard options, the ones that, at least judging by their looks, seem the most likely to fail. But you know what they say about judging by looks. So, who are you rooting for? Cargo, harem, leggings, sweatpants? Spoiler alert, not all of them are going to succeed. So let me know in the comments below which ones you think are going to leave me swimming with the fishes. Our first wildcard option is a pair of Gen Z approved
Alright, so for me personally, I have a lot of martial art pants. And some of them have pockets. So martial art pants with pockets. Yeah.
cargo pants.
As we've learned, some people really love their cargo pants.
They are made of khaki, which is a cotton twill fabric, meaning it's made from cotton and uses that twill pattern we mentioned earlier. So we already know that they are durable, and the tight weave means it could hold up against our ocean in a similar way to our jeans. Though I will say they have a more canvas-like texture. And I'm a little worried that the pockets could turn into some giant water balloons as soon as we hit the water. Listen, this channel has made me expect the unexpected, which reminds me.
If these look familiar to any of you because you've been watching this channel for a very long time, you might have seen these on one Matthew Patrick way back before he sadly left this world.
I may never be able to say I walked a mile in his shoes, but in a minute, I will be able to say I dived into a pool wearing the same pants. Weirder things have happened in this job. Bottoms up!
It's getting colder!
While my fingers may be frozen, they were able to make quick work of our cargo pants.
I highly recommend you wear oversized pants if you think that you're gonna fall overboard.
Or maybe not, because big pants come with an unexpected problem.
These pants might actually be so big that my head is slipping through them.
When it comes to saving your life, you gotta work with what you got. I was surprised at how fast and well the cargo pants inflated and stayed inflated until help arrived.
When it comes to our cargo pants, they did awesome. They held a lot of air. The material really kept the air inside. The wide legs meant there was more air and it was easier for me to float.
Our cargo pants get a spot of honor in our living category.
Here's the other thing. If you're going on a boat, don't wear black pants. And I'm saying this is me, who wears black to like almost everything. They make it so much harder for you to tie your pants because you can't see a darn thing. Speaking of, our next pair of pants is white.
Next up is the harem pants. Now these are made of a mix of nylon, which is highly absorbent unless treated.
So yeah, advice, don't wear black pants. Don't wear navy blue pants. It's so much more difficult for you to do the entire self-rescue thing because it's dark. Can you imagine it at night when there's no light at all? Just absolute darkness. and you try to do that, there's a high chance of you being GG'd.
For weatherproofing, and spandex, which has a very low absorption rate, meaning it doesn't hold a lot of water when wet, which is great for me and my life expectancy.
Our next pair of pants are going to be a sheer linen. Now, these are the kind of vacation pants that you might see at a resort, which of course are technically often near water. So many people would be wearing these on a yacht, on a speedboat, on anything vacation-y.
Think what someone would wear on a season of White Lotus. And they are our thinnest pants yet. But that may not be a problem. Like we saw with the corduroys, thin doesn't mean weak. You see, when you're using your pants to save your life, you're meant to keep them wet. This isn't just to help you blend in with your watery surroundings, it's meant to help keep the air inside the pant fabric. When fabric gets wet, the water forces the air inside the fabric out and lets the water fill in those gaps. This results in two very important things. One, it makes our pants get heavy, which is not great when you're trying to keep afloat. But two, it helps keep the air trapped inside. The water helps create a sort of barrier, making it too hard for the air to dry the fabric and escape.
We're gonna see if the sheer can actually sheep us alive. Thank you. I live here. I'm always here.
Yeah, I deserve to go into the water for that one. The ankle cuffs were an issue.
The ankles are tight. Oh my god. Don't get them twisted. Don't get them twisted.
The thinness of the fabric meant that tying the legs together was the easiest thing I've done all day.
Oh, they're so flexible. That's amazing. Hey, that's a good knot. That's some good knots.
But that thin fabric also meant that the pants had trouble supporting my weight.
It can't hold me up. They're too light. The air is all behind my head.
The pants were so flexible and wide that the air kept moving around me to settle behind my head. And they stretched so much that I couldn't get enough air inside to fill either leg the whole way.
Can I get more air?
Time. Coast Guard is here.
I don't necessarily think that these worked. You can smack the butt if you...
No, I don't think I will.
Whatever, your loss, weather boy. While the harem pants did inflate, they used up more of my energy trying to stay upright than if I had just been floating on my own.
I don't think that these pants are going to save your life. I think they're going to actually make your life a little bit worse. I don't think these get a pass.
They are the first wildcard option to go into our RIP category. But they did succeed in one.
Well, understandable, because you must think from point of view of regular folks without much training, or maybe the last training was like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. This of normal, regular, mundane individuals, regular humdrum folks that just unfortunately get into this water disaster. So yeah, from a point of view of Amy, thank you.
Area being a look.
Fashion, style, other things.
Another thing.
Next up are your common leggings.
These are also a spandex blend, but this time with polyester, which is hydrophobic. Hallelujah! Finally, something not made to absorb an entire ocean when it gets wet, which makes a lot of sense since they are an activewear pant and part of the job is being quick drying. No one likes a swampy bottom, theorists.
So can your Popflex or your whatever off-brand you might be using actually do anything to contain the air and let you float? Let's find out.
Careful.
What? Or I'll fall in? They're stretching. They come off. Pull the leg. Pull the leg. All right. Feels pretty easy to tie, but will that do the problem of the other pants? I can actually tie it off like a balloon at the bottom.
Theorists, this was as close to an actual life vest that any of our pants had gotten. It was buoyant, it was bouncy, and I felt like I could float for hours.
But it's black color. You literally just say don't wear black.
La 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 la. La 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 la. I'm so warm here. La la la. I will survive this. It will be so great. We'll end up on the trending tab.
I will survive.
La la la.
I will survive.
Time. Coast Guard's here.
Yes, this is what those other pants should have done. It's a balloon.
That's just straight up a life jacket.
I
That's
know.
Yeah.
I love this. And it stays. Yeah.
Even outside the water, it stayed inflated. The polyester and spandex formed the perfect container for all that air.
The sound is very aesthetic.
Get the mic. Get that really.
I have bongos.
I am shocked at how well our leg.
Hi, Bongo! Hello from Singapore, I'm Humdrum Singaporeans. I'm just another average Singaporeans. And you are not Amy, you are Bongo.
Did.
They are legitimately a life vest. They were a little hard to inflate at first, but once they did, they stayed. And I could twist the bottom of it so that it stayed. Everything worked. I am so proud of leggings. People like to tell us that they're not really pants. People like to say that they're not appropriate for every situation, but your leggings could save your life.
Editors, add our leggings to the top of our living category and prepare yourselves for our final pair of pants.
Our final option is our sweatpant. This is some really heavy fabric. I kind of expected to just absorb all the water and make me drown.
And it just might because it was made from a mix of cotton, polyester, fleece, and wool. Yes, theorists, our experiment has come full circle. Will the wool once again send me to a watery grave? Or have I become the master of my own destiny? There's only one person who can answer that question. Tom.
This is a game theory pant. We haven't made any style theory pants yet. They probably should be waterproof at this point. I'm waiting. Let's go see if Tom makes me die.
Amy, no!
Hi, Tom! From the Game Theorists!
Oh, get away from the edge!
Oh no!
Oh
It's still so cold!
Like the harem pants, even though they were stretchy, the ankle cuffs made getting them off a little bit more complicated.
Come on, the legs are off. They're easier to tie than the wool pants because they're skinny, but they're hard to make into a knot.
Theorists, I was determined to not fail again, to not let our very own theorist pants drown me.
I'm not.
no! We're not.
They did it!
I can't believe it. Sweatpants take the final spot in our living category. It's a style theory miracle. Wow, what a wild ride this experiment's been. And while I floated there waiting for the Coast Guard to come and save me from the icy water one last time, I thought back to Jack, how his pants could have saved his life if only he'd known how to inflate them. How maybe.
But having said that, you do recognize that this skill is not widely thought. And even if you are taught maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if you do not actively train in it, you forget it. And in the panic, in life with that situation, you panicked. And sadly, unfortunately, you GG.
If he did, there could have been a happy ending. Or maybe the hypothermia still would have gotten him. We will never know. But when I finally climbed out of the pool for the last time, there was only one thing left to say.
Theorists, you can actually save your life with your pants. As long as you get some practice, you can see what you're doing, and hopefully it's daytime and the weather's pretty good. But hey, that's just a theory. A style theory. Stay warm.
Up next on Style Theory. For the next 24 hours, everything I need to survive has to be able to fit on my Crocs. But they're not just any Crocs.
But hey, that's just a theory. A style theory! Keep warm. Thank you so much, Amy and the Style Theorist team for this video. It was amazing. Thank you so much. I actually like this video a lot. I'm gonna rewatch this like 5, 10 times. Thank you. Okay, maybe 20 times. Okay, you know what? 21 times. Okay? I like this video a lot. It's educational, it's entertaining, and I learned a lot, and it makes me want to go swimming and teach my children, my spouse, my family members on how to actually save their life. Truly, touch my heart. Thank you. Subscribe.